What's good, my poker friends? destinyb0nd here, bringing you an RU battle against a guy named SMP, and I gotta admit, this battle was intense, left and right. I name it hit and miss because there was a lot of hitting and confusion and a lot of missing, and just hacks was just everywhere for the both of us. Quick things before I get this started. I am taking a speech class, and I'm just gonna try to avoid the ums and uhs and all that other stuff. But if I do, then I deeply apologize. I am new to the class. But regardless, let's just do a quick analysis. Now, judging by his team, he has an Uxie, a Moltres, and a Nidoqueen that I should be afraid of. Now, with Uxie, of course, it's going to be defensive, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the person that's going to set up his rocks, and that is why I have Sandslash, so that I can get rid of those. And the Moltres is probably going to be the biggest problem, considering the fact that it is probably going to be a Life Orb or a Choice Specs. Who really knows? I'm pretty sure I should probably watch out for the Fire Blast, Air Slash, and the Hidden Power Grass, the usual Moltres, really. And with Nidoqueen, I'm pretty sure I should be afraid of that as well, because anything can go with Nidoqueen. It could be a Sheer Force Nidoqueen, if that's even possible. I'm not too sure. But on my side, I do have an Archeops. Archeops is my favorite Pokemon by default because it's just different. Nobody really uses it. People underestimate it because of its defeatist ability. Well, in Black and White 2, Archeops does get a new toy, which is Roost. But considering the fact that Archeops has terrible defenses, you probably will not get off a Roost, which is kind of sad, really. Well, he should be afraid of my Primeape and my Manectric, because Primeape, it is a physical attacker. I do have the close combat, and I'm pretty sure I can definitely take out at least a good chunk of his team with just a Primeape, since I do have speed EVs and all that other junk. Manectric, on the other hand, it is Choice Specs, and that will definitely hit hard. I do have the Volt Switch so that I can scout out his team, and if he just doesn't switch into his Nidoqueen, so that might be the only problem that Manectric has. But anyway, let's just get on with this battle. So, I'm just going to go off with my Archeops because I definitely wanted to think that I had the Stealth Rocks, and he does get that, by the way, in Black and White 2. But you'll know that whenever the game comes out in about a couple days. He's as I figured he would. He does lead off with his Uxie, and I was right. I just go for the Acrobatics straight off the bat because I do want to get rid of this Uxie because I figured it was sort of a threat. It is a defensive threat to my team, and so with that, with the Flying Gem and the Stab, Archeops is going to do a lot to this Uxie. He does go for the Thunder Wave. If I should have really predicted that, because that is just going to totally ruin this Archeops completely. He will set up the rocks like I figured he would, which is fine because I can just get rid of him with the Sandslash. I do miss my Stone Edge, which is not too big of a deal. He's just going to go for the U-turn, get out of there, because he feels like he can definitely keep the Uxie for later on, which is fine. With me, I'm just going to go for the Acrobatics because I didn't really want to risk missing another Stone Edge. Sorry, brain fart. And I do go for the Acrobatics, like I said. And lucky for me, I do get the critical hit on this Nidoqueen, which is totally going to matter completely, considering the fact that he probably needed that Nidoqueen to take down my Archeops. Archeops is doing alright right now, which is fine. He goes for the Psychic. I figured I would definitely take that a little bit, since Uxie doesn't have the greatest special attack. I do take it nicely. I do go for the Acrobatics. I did not really want to risk missing another Stone Edge. I do take down the Uxie, which is fine. He's just going to go to a Sceptile, and he told me that he totally messed up with the Sceptile. He had the same exact moves as his Moltres, so you can imagine that a Sceptile with Fire Blast would not be happening today. So I'm just going to go for the Acrobatics, because I do want to leave this Archeops to save the rest of my Pokemon, considering the fact that Archeops has already taken out 2 Pokemon, which is fine. But as much as I love Archeops, I just needed to get rid of it because it is crippled. It has Defeatist right now, since I'm in the yellow area. And now I'm not going to attack this turn because I do get paralyzed. He's going to go into his Kabutops. He's going to go for the Aqua Jet, which is what he should have done sooner. But it's fine, you know. I just let him play what he wanted to play. He does take down my Archeops, which is fine because he did what he needed to do. And now this gives me a chance to go into my Sandslash because I wanted to get rid of the rocks because I figured it was a hazard. to my team. Now, he's just going to go for a Swords Dance. I'm surprised he didn't go for the Shell Smash, because that definitely would have at least destroyed most of my team. But I'm just going to go for the Rapid Spin, get rid of those rocks, and now I am pretty much safe because he doesn't have any other Stealth Rock users. And he does reveal to me the weak armor, which means that his defense will drop, but his speed will rise in the meantime. And it's something like a Shell Smash, but it's just with an ability. That's fine by me. He does go for the Aqua Jet. Now, considering the fact that Sandslash has good defense, and his health is back to 354, I figured I could take an Aqua Jet nicely. I do end up taking it, which is good because that allows me to go for the Earthquake, and that will get rid of this Kabutops. I didn't really think that this Kabutops would be too much of a hazard or too much of a problem to my team, because I figured, Sandslash, defense, attack, boom, dead. Now I'm starting to question what he's going to send in next. I'm pretty sure he's going to send in something that's going to take down my Sandslash, which is fine because I do not really need Sandslash anymore. It got rid of the rocks and now I just don't need it. He's going to go into his Absol, go for a Night Slash. I knew I could take one because Sandslash has that good defense, but I do not end up taking that at all. He does reveal to me he has a Life Orb, so that's probably why. I figured it would be a Choice Band at Absol, but it's not. So he's just going to withdraw. I'm going to go into my Primeape just to scare him out and see what he has. He's going to go into his Sceptile. He does predict the close combat, supposedly. And that's fine. If I went for the Ice Punch, I'm pretty sure I would have taken down the Sceptile a little bit sooner. But with just the close combat, I do end up taking down the Sceptile, which is fine. Because his Sceptile could not really have done anything, considering the fact that it was hacked. Which is, I guess it's fine, but, mistakes happen. Let's go with that. He's going to go into his Moltres. I am really scared of this Moltres, because I do need this Primeape for later. I'm going to switch out, and I am just going to have to go into my Slowqueen, sorry. And I figured that an Air Slash was coming, but he does reveal to me the Hurricane, and it will hit. Now, please note that Hurricane, it does confuse if it hits. And considering the fact that Slowking has pretty good special defense, I will take that decently. Not as good as I thought I would, but it's good enough to where I am just safe in the green range. Now this is just where all the fun begins. He's just going to go for a Substitute. I was trying to go for a Scald and so that I can just get rid of this Moltres because it is a hazard. But I do get hit by Confusion. It wasn't too much of a bother because I didn't really lose as much health as I thought I would. And I'm just going to basically stay in the range where, I just get hit by Confusion, leftovers, and then just stay in the range. He does go for the Hurricane. He does miss. I will hit myself in Confusion again, and then yet again, I'm in the same range where I am before this all happened. But it's totally fine. I was going to go for the Thunder Wave, but I just realized that he was behind a sub. He goes for another Hurricane. He misses again. I hit myself again in Confusion. This was just a funny battle. Like, I love this battle a lot. It wasn't too much of a big battle, but it was definitely something that I wanted to upload. His Hurricane hits me this time. It's totally fine because it allows me to get past Confusion and allows me to go for the Disable, which means that he will not be able to touch me, considering the fact that he probably has a Fire Blast. I'm surprised he didn't have Hidden Power Grass. If he had the Hidden Power Grass, I'm pretty sure the Slowking would have been, like, history by now. It's totally fine, though. I'm not judging, but I'm just going to switch out, get my Regenerator, and I'm going to go into my Manectric so I can get rid of this sub. Since I didn't really have any other way to get rid of it. He goes for the Fire Blast, he misses, which is kind of funny. I go for the Volt Switch, I do get rid of the sub, and that's going to be fine, because that's going to allow me to go into... I kind of wanted to go into my Slowking at first, so I can go for the Scald, maybe take take a Fire Blast, and I end up going into my Slowking. And that's good, because he does end up going for a Fire Blast. It does hit this time, Wasn't too much of a big deal because there is no burn, but it does do a pretty decent amount of damage considering the fact that Slowking does have good special defense, but Moltres does have that special attack and the Life Orb and the stab. So I pretty much was thinking he wouldn't switch. He does end up switching. He's going to go into his Absol, and I do get scared. I will have to switch next turn. I end up going for the Scald, which is going to be good because sadly enough, I do not get the burn. I kind of needed the burn, but that's totally fine. But anyway, so I'm just going to recover with my lefties. I'm going to switch out because I was predicting the Night Slash or the Sucker Punch in case we had it. He already revealed to me that he had a Night Slash, and so that's going to allow me to go into my Primate. He's going to go for a Night Slash like I predicted, and it's fine. It's not so fine, considering the fact that he will reveal to me next turn he has the Sucker Punch. And I kind of figured I would live this with, considering the fact that it is not very effective. He ends up taking my Primate. I guess, I'm not sure how that happened. There was no crit. I don't think he has that ability, Super Luck. I'm not sure how that happened whatsoever, but it's totally fine. This allows me to go into my Manectric, and he does go for the Sucker Punch again. I figured I can take it, but considering the fact that Manectric does not have the best defense, he definitely just O-code my Manectric. I just sacked it for like no reason. It's totally fine. It allows me to go into my Bouffalant, and this is where he starts coming back. He's going to go for the Superpower, and that scared me so badly. I figured I can take it, but I end up not taking it at all. I sacked 2 Pokemon right there that I probably needed. It's totally fine though, you know, I have 1 more Pokemon left. What the heck was that? Sorry about that. But anyway, it's totally fine. But as long as his Absol gets taken down by the Life Orb, I think we'll be good. But anyway, he's going to go into his Moltres, which is pretty much his last Pokemon. My last Pokemon is Slowking. And now this is just where the fun begins for the both of us. He's going to go for the Hurricane. He does hit me with the Hurricane. And now we're pretty much back to square one with the Confusion and the Missing. Which is, I guess, it's fine with me. I do take that Hurricane pretty good. I'm in the yellow range. I cannot switch to get my health back because I do have the Regenerator, as I said before. I do get hit by Confusion. That's not too big of a deal, but then again, it is a big deal considering the fact that we're pretty much on our last Pokemon. So he has no other choice but to go for a Hurricane. I'm going to totally dodge that attack. I'm just going to get hit by Confusion again. That's at least like the 4th time now that's happened between us, and it's just going to be a little stally. I'm not too bothered by this. It's just if he went for the Hurricane, I definitely would have lost, but he goes for the Substitute, which I'm not sure why. But I try to go for the Scald. I get hit again by Confusion, and we're just like laughing our butts off right now, considering the fact that it's just between these 2 Pokemon, they're just having a problem. He's gonna go for the Moltres, or not the Moltres, the Hurricane. He misses. I snap out of Confusion, and I do go for the Scald. That allows me to get rid of the sub, and that's totally fine because he's pretty much going to be done setting up the subs since he is in the red range. That's going to be good, and now it comes down to this. If he hits me with the Hurricane, I'm pretty much done, and if he doesn't, then he's pretty much done. Lucky for me, he misses the Hurricane again. I go for the Scald.